And happy Thursday afternoon to you. Hopefully you have a great day today. It's beautiful outside. Tomorrow may not be as beautiful, but most of the day will be nice. We have a weather impact alert for us tomorrow afternoon, starting about 7 o'clock. It's going to go through 1 a.m. That's whenever we expect to see the severe weather threat move across our region. So we're going to go over a detailed analysis on what we expect for our area and where the greatest threat is for severe weather again tomorrow afternoon and through the evening and then the early overnight hours. So primary risks right now are going to be damaging wind gusts, large hail, could see a brief tornado or two, and I'll show you where exactly that is most likely as we move through this real quick update for us here. We've also got a text line. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and pop that number up for you. So if you want to go ahead and send some text in to us, if you got any questions, hopefully I'll be able to answer some of those. You can see that number. I believe it's below me. It's in there somewhere. There you go. That text line is, let's go right there. There it is, right there. 314-425-5355. And hopefully I can get you some answers to any questions that you may have, and I'll pull that up here in just a moment. But first, I'm going to run through the forecast, what we expect for us here this afternoon. So grab that number real fast if you got any questions about your location, plans for tomorrow, perhaps this weekend, or any other general life advice. We can talk about it right here on the app. So we've got that severe weather threat. Let's go and bring this back over so you can see again tomorrow. Today, though, nice weather. We're starting out with the current conditions. I forgot about that. So again, the time of this is going to be right around 2 o'clock, just a few minutes after that here on Thursday. Temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 80s, some rain, cooled air down to the south. But otherwise, the region's looking really good. Today's highs will top out in the low 80s with sunny skies for us. But again, we expect to see that change to the atmosphere tomorrow. A cold front is on its way. It's going to bring that chance for some scattered showers and storms, some of which could be on the severe side. We've got 3 different risk assessments from the Storm Prediction Center. Storm Prediction Center are the folks out in Norman, Oklahoma. They issue these types of convective outlooks to let the general public and ourselves have an idea on what exactly they expect to see across the region. They are the severe weather experts, and they do a great job of keeping people advised days in advance of ongoing and incoming severe weather threats. So with this type of an alert, what we're looking at, again, are 3 different thresholds. There's 3 different colors on this board. There are 5 different levels across for severe weather that we could see. The highest, of course, is high, but as you look further to the left of the column up there or on the road, goes down to marginal. This would be this category. So the marginal risk area in the green, isolated strong to severe storms possible, meaning that if any storms are ongoing when they reach this region, a few of them may briefly become severe. When you move into the level 2 assessment, this yellow shaded region, which includes the downtown St. Louis area up through St. Charles County, this means isolated severe storms expected. So a little bit higher confidence the further northwest that you go. And then this orange shaded area means scattered severe storms expected. So again, higher risk of severe weather to the northwest. That fades as it moves eastbound. And the reason it's going to do that is because that line's going to move through the late evening, through the overnight hours. So it's going to lose energy as it moves from one location in one county further east and then east in through portions of Illinois. There are 2 different primary severe weather risks that we're keeping a close watch on. The most likely one are the damaging wind gusts. They could be wind gusts upwards of 60, maybe even 70 miles per hour in this enhanced risk area. The further east, closer to 60 miles per hour. The difference in that is that 70 miles per hour will likely bring down a few trees or at least some larger tree limbs. 60 miles per hour means we could see some isolated damage areas, and then same down to the southeast too. So as we look ahead, we look at high resolution forecast model data very closely. We watch for 2 things with this. 1, the intensity. 2, the timing. Actually, we watch for 3 things. And then 3, the trends in the data. Is it going faster? Is it going slower? Is it getting more intense? Is it getting less intense? That's what we're going to break down here. This is starting tomorrow right around noon. No issues. We are nice and pleasant, partly cloudy skies, highs in the low to mid 80s. At this point at noon, we're probably right around 80 degrees. A breezy wind, though. We'll see wind gusts upwards of 15 and 20 miles per hour out of the due south. That's what's going to bring the moisture in. But that's ahead of that cold front. Here comes the cold front. This is through about 8 o'clock. And you can see scattered showers and storms lining up in advance of that approaching cold front. As it moves into the area, it'll tap into that warmer air and the moisture to help spark those showers and storms. A couple of things to note with this. One is that this is showing 8:30 p.m. on Friday. Obviously, well, tomorrow. The timing is subject to change. There has been a trend in the data for this to be a little bit earlier, and more often than not, these types of lines outrun the forecast models. So we'll say maybe upwards of 7 o'clock when these storms begin to move in to our northwesternmost counties. When it does that, again, we could see some damaging wind gusts, perhaps an isolated tornado or two across this region. And then as we move eastbound, it's moving through the later evening, through the early overnight. The sun has been down now for a good 3 hours or so at 10:15. And so therefore the atmosphere is losing that energy. You can see over towards St. Louis, southwest over to Washington, Crawford counties, and then northeast through northern Bond County, Montgomery County. And that's all of this activity is weakening as it moves eastbound. And then through the overnight hours, the severe threat's over. So we expect to see that severe threat end by 1 a.m. at the latest. It could probably end by about midnight or so as that main line pushes well east of our viewing area. This is light to moderate rain with some gusty winds, some occasional lightning as well. Otherwise, we start to clear out by Saturday morning. Again, I'm going to check the text line here in just a moment. Let me run back through the timing for the severe weather potential and the potential threats with this. So you can see in this area, in fact, let me go and bring this full screen so you can maybe see this just a little bit easier and you can spot where you live. And you can see the orange shaded areas from Phelps County, northeast through Greene County and Jersey County on the Illinois side. These orange shaded areas, perhaps a slightly higher risk for damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, perhaps a slightly higher risk of a tornado or two across this entire region. So the threat in terms of a tornado actually hitting where your community is very low overall. Even on the most active days, it's very low overall. But across this entire region, we may see a brief spin up tornado or two. So it's a little bit higher. It's nothing to be concerned about. It's nothing to be overly worried about, but it is something to be weather aware of as we get to tomorrow evening from 7 to 10 p.m. In terms of large hail, a little bit higher risk for that too. We'll go with a medium risk there. And again, on our westernmost counties. Let's bring this back full screen because maybe you live a little bit further east. Well, that threat shifts eastbound through the overnight hours. This is going to be between 10 p.m. and 1 a.m. You'll also note that if you look at the actual assessment on this, we moved these from a medium risk back down to a low. So I expect to see maybe a few severe thunderstorm warnings, perhaps quite a few actually, as we move through the overnight hours. But the better risk for more damaging type of weather is going to be to the northwest, and even then, it's low overall. So that's the overall expectations with this system. Again, it's a cold front, meaning colder air is going to be right behind this main line and right behind those showers as they move through the overnight hours. So it's going to be a little bit cooler for us on Saturday. If you got weekend plans Saturday and Sunday, keep those in play. It's going to be really nice outside. So it'll just be cooler with temperatures, again, in the 60s across the region. All right, so I'm checking the text line. I've got no activity on the text line right now. You're leaving me lonely here. It's all quiet. We've got nothing on here. Let me put that back up. If you got any questions for your general area, I'd be very happy to go over those with you. Let me fade this through. Severe thunderstorm watch now issued for, is that?
Our southern county.
Our southern county. This has got Reynolds or?
Reynolds, Iron,
Reynolds.
Washington, St. Francis, St. Genevieve.
Okay, yeah. Of course. Why do we do this? There are some severe thunderstorms. There's a severe thunderstorm watch now in effect for our southernmost counties from Reynolds County. I'll show you that here in just a moment. But again, text line. Yes, text line is up. You see that number down there? Shoot me a text. Let me know that we're connected and that we're doing all right here. Unless, and in the back there, Hunter, are y'all seeing any texts come through? I want to make sure I've got the right portal set up on here. Looking, okay, looking as it is. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, let's switch this over. I want to see, there it is. Let's come back out. I do want to, if we got anybody watching, because they just got the alert that's not up on Max Live. You got it over there, Chief?
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
It's not in, but I'm gonna...
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've ran into issues with it today. Let's pull up the radar. If anybody's down in Reynolds County, y'all had some hail down there today near Bunker. They had about 1 inch in diameter hailstones that came out of some pretty strong storms. And right now, I'll be honest with you, I know that there's a severe thunderstorm watch, but the prime, oh, we got questions. We got questions. All right, let's see what we got here.
You've got answers.
Yeah, well, there we go. The Chiefs, I said, you've got questions, we've got answers. All right, so we got a couple of questions here. Could we see a tornado or thunderstorm in Belleville? Look, the overall risk of a tornado in any one given location is extremely low. I will say that in Belleville, that's going to be on the eastern side of the river in Illinois, it's very low. I can't say zero, of course, but it's very low. And again, if that were to happen to be after midnight, it would be a brief spin-up tornado. The better upper air dynamics for perhaps a slightly stronger tornado, they're going to be the northwest. That was that initial zone that I showed you earlier. Let me move this back away from the current radar that's showing up on here. I saw the other questions. I'm getting into them, I promise you. I'm not going to leave you hanging there. Oh, we're in the wrong. Let's come back over here. So again, if we were to see tornadoes tomorrow night, I firmly believe, based off of the atmospheric conditions, the upper level data with the storms as they move in, it's in this orange shaded area. And that's a big if. It's a low threat to medium threat overall. I always like to slightly round up if I need to in order for life safety purposes here. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I mean, this is nothing really to be scared of. It's just something to be aware of with that severe weather threat. But if we were to see any tornadoes, I do believe it would be off to the northwest. So again, everybody in Illinois, the risk is near zero, but it's not zero, but it is very low. So of course, that's great news there as well. Will this be like the May 16th tornado? No, there's no indication of that. They could see some big tornadoes well out of our region, up towards Wisconsin and Iowa. That's where the strongest upper level support is for strong tornadoes. And so we should be pretty much clear of any of that level of risk. And one of the things, and one of the reasons that we do what we do, is to help translate this live as it's happening. So you would note that tone. If we get a tornado warning, you can tell when we're relaxed. You can tell when we're pushing on all cylinders to help keep people safe. So I don't expect to see anything like that. Let me switch this back over. That's a weird view there. Okay, there you go. I don't expect to see anything like that for us here tomorrow night. The upper level support just isn't really there for strong tornadoes. But of course, we want you to take any tornado warning very seriously, because just one tree that falls on the side of your house, if it does, that can become dangerous really fast. That's why we ask folks to be in an interior hallway, doorway, closet area, so a weak tornado can still cause significant damage. So we want you to be safe away from the exterior-most areas there. So let's see here. Okay, camping near Leesburg Friday night in a tent. Should we cancel? Chief, what you think about that?
That sounds like a scout camp out.
Yes, it does.
It's gonna be stormy.
Yeah.
It is going to rain.
So if you could, I don't know if you could hear that or not, but it's going to be stormy. It's going to rain. And I will tell you, so there's actually a retreat that I go on every year that we use tents. And it's always nerve-wracking when those strong winds come in. So personally, if I were you, I would not do it, just because, especially if there's trees around, there's literally zero protection, right? So, and you'd rather be safe than sorry. Reschedule, hopefully, for another weekend perhaps. But Friday night, those storms will come in, and there is the chance that even damaging wind gusts, where you probably wouldn't even notice them in terms of damage assessment if they were at your house. But if you're in a tent, that's a different story, and tents tend to shake and move.
Yes, and your safe places in the bathhouse.
You got to get on camera here,
Yeah,
Chief.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
there we go.
Just so you know,
Yep.
your safe places in the bathhouse, assuming it's like Merrimack State Park.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's Leesburg area.
And you
So-
could, I guess, do that if you got somewhere like an interior type building you could quickly
they
get
got
into.
bathhouses.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, there you go. There you
that
go.
would be your safe place.
There you go.
That's
So
about
words from the wise there. But yeah,
lived it.
I would still. Chiefs lived it out there. So I would still. I've done it before, and I will tell you, it is not fun being in a tent and hearing the wind and seeing the trees above you. Whew. That part is less than fun. Okay, let's scroll back through some of these. We're going to have strong storms in Jefferson County. I think Jefferson County, I mean, that risk does go up after 10 o'clock. I hit the wrong button. It does go up after 10 o'clock again. There's Jefferson County. It's lower than what's off to the northwest, but damaging wind gusts, certainly a possibility, large hail, maybe a brief spin-up tornado or two. Okay. Maryland Heights Friday night. Yeah, I think you'll see some stronger storms Friday night. Again, that severe weather risk is there through about 11 p.m. for Maryland Heights. Do I need to bring my flowers inside this weekend? Thanks. How are we looking on frost, Chief?
I don't think so at this point, not in the metro.
Okay.
Outlying areas maybe.
So outlying areas, perhaps, but inside the metro, temperatures typically are slightly a few degrees warmer.
There's also a breeze.
And there's also a breeze too.
So
Okay.
That should prevent.
That should prevent any frost. Okay. So again, I mean, it's one of those things. If they're really nice flowers, I bring them inside. But if it doesn't seem like we'll have much of a frost risk from this overall. That could change, so stay tuned for forecast updates. Temperatures behind this can shift based on the timing of the front there as well. What time and how severe will the weather be in our zip code here? So again, it's in St. Louis. We're really on the borderline between where it's a little bit stronger and a little bit weaker. So we're in a level 2 threat. So I would say isolated severe storms likely or expected with the main line. Got a couple of questions here coming in about timing for St. Louis. So I'm going to address all those here at one time in a moment. If the storms do produce any tornadoes, will they be the quick spin up type? I'm going to address that one too, actually, at the same time. Let me switch back over here to this. And all right, let's go to, matter of fact, I'm going to back that up a little bit. Let me see if I can move this map behind me. This might look weird in a second. Just ignore I'm putting this into editing mode so I can actually move the camera around a little bit. All right. So, and it's going to jump a couple of times. This may not be the best TV. All right, so I was asked about the potential for brief spin-up tornadoes versus long track type tornadoes, the big ones, the ones that are really devastating. And so this is us, of course, down here. But well off to the northeast, you've got a cold front, you've got a warm front, you've got a low pressure center. This region in through here is more likely and really stretching up into Wisconsin, where you get these individual cells where they don't have to battle each other for energy and they can become structured, and there's more upper level support with the change of wind direction with height. That's where you get more of the big dog tornadoes, the ones up here that are most concerning that you press the button on very quickly. So this is a setup here that if we get any tornadoes, it's a big if, but if we do, this type of environment is similar to what we saw last night, where we had a couple of brief spin-up rotations. Now, none of those last night in our area actually touched down, but they did spin enough to where they could have briefly. And so this type of a setup where you've got broken convection, these are line segments, and they're not those individual supercells like what they expect well off to our north, far away from our viewing area. So these types of setups here, you get a little bit of a southeasterly wind into a storm that has some rotation, that gets connected from the surface, and then you can get that brief spin-up tornado. Most of these types of setups, the tornadoes, if there are any, they're shorter than a mile or 2 in length, and they are only on the ground for more often than not less than 5 minutes. Now, if your house is in the path of that, that's not ideal. It can still cause some issues, especially if you got trees close by. So that's why we always urge folks to be inside, away from the exterior-most hallway or exterior-most walls, and you're perfectly safe 9 chances out of 10, especially with this type of setup. So again, I had a couple of questions asking about timing for St. Louis. We'll look at St. Charles here as well, because I have one question on that too. We'll back this up a little bit. Again, you take this with a grain of salt, because forecast models can only do what they can do, and you and I both know how accurate they can be sometimes. And as you look off to the northwest, by about 8:30 or so, those storms are beginning to move in. And again, I mentioned this earlier, if you were watching earlier, lines like this tend to outpace the actual, in reality, tend to outpace the forecast models. So I tend to, in my mind, when it says 8:30 back behind me, I'm thinking closer to 7:30, maybe even earlier than that. That's what the data has shown us over the years. And as I move this forward here now, this is going to be 9:30 at night. So rain with maybe some winds now pushing in to St. Louis. So we'll go with a window between 8:30 and 10:30 for downtown St. Louis. St. Charles, perhaps 7:30 to 9:30 or 10. And this forecast model, again, its radar is not going to look like this. It does show what this would be a damaging wind type scenario with this type of a line segment. Not really one. Maybe you could see a brief spin up along the northern tier here or along the leading edge if there's a southeasterly wind. And so the tornado threat, again, is very low overall. And this could be down here. It could be up here. I'm telling you, that's the way the forecast models are. A grain of salt, and then you add a few more grains in there too, okay? So, but the timing on this is, I do feel somewhat comfortable with what we're showing you, just sped up maybe an hour or so. There you go. So again, that's, yep, just answered that one, Yeah, so Lake St. Louis area, basically the same thing. I mean, it's just going to be some heavy rain, gusty winds. Could see a severe warning or two within your region there as well. Wildwood area. Let me double check that. Chief, you know what county Wildwood's in?
That's West St. Louis County.
Oh, it's West St. Louis? Oh, okay.
Biggest space, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's beautiful out there. Oh, yeah, okay. So again, like it's really the same forecast that I was just giving for St. Louis. You can basically just expand that out for St. Louis County in terms of the timing and intensity potential with that as well. Let's move this up a little bit. I believe I've answered pretty much everybody. Do we have a big tornado threat? No. So again, it is isolated, and honestly, even on the highest of the high-end severe weather days, the chance for your home, your community to be directly hit from a tornado are very low. But on those big days, of course, somebody does. So this is even significantly lower than that. I mean, we might see a brief spin-up tornado or two, and the maps are deceiving. This is a large space. So the opportunity for a tornado to actually hit within your community is very, very low overall, but it's not zero. We do expect to see that potential. The storms have the energy in the atmosphere and the wind profile where we could see a brief spin up. It's just to say that there's nothing to be overly concerned about. It's just something to be weather aware of. And as long as you, again, if you get a warning in your area, of course, the Chief and I will be in here all evening, I'm sure. What time did you leave here last night?
Just before 2.
Just before 2. So Chief was in here until 2 a.m. last night. What time did you get in yesterday? 1. So 11 hours. That is what you call dedication right there. So again, we're going to be with you tomorrow night as well, and keeping you updated should any watches or warnings be issued in our area. I expect to see some watches through the late evening hours. So I believe that's going to wrap it up on the questions there. I think I hit everybody. Guys in the back right there, am I missing anything? I think we're good. Did we just get how bad tomorrow evening? Okay. Yeah, so just outside of O'Fallon and Cottleville, I mean, it's basically the same situation here. Your most likely issue will be some heavy rain, gusty winds, frequent lightning. That's probably the most likely issue. We're going to wrap it up here on the text line, but that's probably going to be your most concerning issue there. But again, that severe weather threat is possible, so like I've mentioned, we'll be here with you to keep you advised, and hopefully ease some anxiety too, because I know that, I mean, we just lived, last severe weather season was one of the worst that we've had. So we want to keep everybody updated on that so they're not overly anxious, so they're aware. And if you're aware, you can prepare. And that's what our goal is here at 5 on your side. So again, scattered showers and storms move in likely after 7 o'clock, closer towards 8:30 or so. This is showing 9:30. I was thinking more about our westernmost counties there. There you go. That's 7:45 or so. You can see those scattered showers and storms. And this is, before we wrap this up, this type of a storm, and again, don't look at this and be like, oh, that's going to happen. It's not. But this is just forecast model. But these little like kinks that we see in these types of thunderstorms demonstrated on the data, that's the type of setup where we could possibly see a brief spin-up tornado, because what's happening here is you got a southeasterly wind likely with this type, what the data is suggesting. And so again, it's a low-end threat, but it's not zero, so we'll keep you updated on that. Let's move this forward again, head you back over towards St. Louis right now, between, we'll say 9:30, we'll say 9 to 10:30, I think is what I said earlier for St. Louis. St. Charles County, maybe 30 minutes or so before that. Point south and eastward, and I will say again, the severe weather threat east looks lower overall, and the Storm Prediction Center has done a great job handling this in their forecast too. And then, of course, overnight, this is just rain, so you can sleep at ease. Just hearing some rumbles of thunder in the background, great sleeping weather. Great sleeping in weather as well as we look towards Saturday. which Chief puts his hand up. The Chief's been chopping down trees, building walls, I'm not kidding you, and then coming in and keep everybody safe during tornado warning. So I don't know how he does it. He's always nonstop. So again, weather impact alert tomorrow night. We will be here to keep you advised and maybe even keep you entertained on the text line before the big storms hit tomorrow evening. So thank you for joining us here. Look forward to the nice weekend ahead. A little bit chilly, relatively speaking. If you've gotten used to the 80s, we're headed to the 60s. Next week, put it on the calendar. Monday, Tuesday, weather impact alert days to go outside and enjoy the nice weather with sunny skies. So we'll keep you updated here on the app. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon. Appreciate your time with us. And we'll look forward to seeing you today at 4 o'clock. The Chiefs got the latest updates coming in then.